To introduce our first speaker, Drew Clark, who over his 30-year career are the SSV Air Quality Mobility Director. Drew Clark has led development of several of IBM's first internet software products, including several AI and machine learning technologies that were precursors to products like IBM's Watson. So today, Drew is going to detail SSV's latest mobility project going on in San Mateo County. So take it away, Drew, and feel free to grab the screen.
Okay, thanks a lot, Dennis. Let me just do that. Let me see here. Grab that one here. Okay, and then let me just bring it up into slideshow. Okay, thank you very much, Dennis, and thank you, Jennifer. Yeah, I'm just going to give you a very brief synopsis of what we think is a very exciting first-of-a-kind project we're doing in San Mateo County. And it goes by the kind of geeky name Intelligent Transit Signal Priority, or ITSP. And really what it is a solution to a problem that plagues a lot of communities, and particularly what we call the underserved, or communities who really aren't getting the same breaks as a lot of others. And so we have kind of jumped in with an incredible coalition of partners, which I'll detail in a second, to try to help solve this problem. And the problem really is that transit is really not what it could be. We've got traffic congestion in many of our cities around the Bay Area in particular. And that results in slow bus, which results in poor rider experiences. And really what it does is it, for those who have the option, it forces them into other modes. And that other mode is single occupancy vehicles in many cases. And that just contributes to the congestion, and it kind of just builds. For those communities, however, who don't even have that option, it really forces them out of an option. And it makes life very difficult to be able to do things like going to work and taking their kids to school and doing other kinds of things. Bottom line is a real hit on, and a direct social impact on these communities. So we got together, our brain trust, including the city of East Palo Alto, CCAG, which is a powerful organization in San Mateo County, Samtrans, the transit company, Caltrans, many of you know, and Light as a brand new startup partner providing technology. And we essentially are going to deliver a transit priority system along the congestion arteries in these transit dependent communities. And so we picked East Palo Alto as our kind of nexus for the pilot. It's an ideal location, a large number of transit reliant citizens. And it happens to be kind of where a lot of Silicon Valley converges or collides. If you think about the Dumbarton Bridge, and those are familiar with the Southern Bay Area, the traffic coming across from the East Bay, converging on Highway 101, right at Facebook, with all the folks coming there, and folks coming up from the south, and those heading south. It's a convergence zone that's really congested, and so desperate need of proper transit solutions. So we put together this pilot project funded by CCAG, that organization. It's going to run basically along University Avenue in the city of East Palo Alto. Those of you familiar can look at the Google map in front of you and see kind of where we're talking. It's a several mile stretch of University Avenue that happens to be very impacted in terms of congestion, in terms of opportunity really to help transit there. We're going to equip the transit, the buses, with special GPS location devices so that we know where every bus is. Believe it or not, in San Mateo County, we largely don't know where the buses are at any given time unless they call in and kind of report that. So for the first time, we'll have that technology to basically know where all of our rolling assets are. we'll use that location information to be able to better understand where the buses are and when they need to get a little bit of a boost in the form of a signal priority, we call it. If you're familiar with emergency vehicles and police and other kinds of fire vehicles, they magically approach an intersection and they magically seem to get through the green light. There's not magic, of course. There's a signal that's sent. We're using much more sophisticated technology to actually talk to the signals and help expedite buses through the signals, thereby avoiding delays, avoiding congestion, not contributing to congestion. And of course, we hope that fewer idling buses at intersections will result in a lot less greenhouse gas emissions. So there's a sustainability element in the form of GHG reduction as well. So that's really the plan, and we're very excited to kind of get that underway in the very near future. What it looks like is we hope to achieve something on the order of 20% shorter travel times, much smarter routing, much smarter, as I said, passage through intersections. It's going to result in a lot of fuel savings as well. The buses aren't sitting there idling, waiting for the next light cycle. And of course, the commensurate reduction in emissions we talked about. That's also key. The solution uses a great deal of interesting technology. There's machine learning aspects all throughout. As the system continues to work, it gets smarter, and we actually learn the traffic patterns, and we learn a little bit more about how to more smartly send buses through intersections and how to talk to the signals to basically get the expedition of the buses to happen. So we've got learning algorithms in place. They look at particular road sections, they look at traffic over time, they look at the stoppage time, road capacity. There are many factors that are kind of pulled together into these algorithms. And we basically make decisions in real time, communicate those back to the traffic network, and it results, we hope, in a much smarter infrastructure. And we hope also a great base to build additional applications on. So as I said before, we're hoping that without any modifications to the system, no additional hardware on the buses, no special devices installed at intersections, we should be able to get a significant improvement in travel time here. No special bus lanes required, that sort of thing. And we avoid huge hardware costs that a lot of solutions have to deal with in terms of upgrading controllers and other kinds of equipment. We don't have to do that here. It's all cloud-based solution. And of course, maybe the biggest thing is reduction in staff resources. We can avoid having to hire lots of additional resources to maintain these systems and to go in and constantly upgrade hardware and software and other kinds of things. So we think overall that it'll be both a sustainability improvement as well as a lowering of cost. And we really hope that by demonstrating this capability here in East Palo Alto, we'll be able to then scale up and be able to take this to other cities in the area and perhaps to across the entire county. We see no reason why it can't happen, and a successful project will certainly help there. So that's all I had, just as an overview, and I think we can take a few questions. Shall I unshare?
Yes, great. Thank you, Drew. And Lisa, were there, do we have any questions from the audience for Drew?
Question just came in.
Yes.
Do you see the pandemic changing your plans for intelligent transit? That was from Gayatri.
That's a terrific question. And one of the reasons that we actually constructed this pilot is because of COVID, because we believe that transit ridership is no doubt at an all-time low, or at least in recent memory. And we on to the buses. And one of the things that's under our control is constructing a more reliable, safer transit. And so by improving the response times, by improving the perception of transit as something that will get you there on time, that is reliable, that is efficient and sustainable, we think that's going to help pull people back into transit. So that's kind of our pitch around COVID is we desperately need these kind of solutions now. Now is the time to be betting on technology to help us bring people back into this important public resource.
Well, thank you, Drew. And actually, with that question, I would like to transition to the next segment, which includes a number of panelists that we're going to have to call up to the virtual stage and kind of go from there. So, but thank you, and obviously we all look forward to the development of this project, and I know it's been a long time coming, and is not unfraught with difficulty, and so definitely looking ahead for this.
Great, thank you.